G'day everyone, how you going? Hope you're having a great day. Today is going to be a bit of a rushed video because this computer that's come in, they need it back today. So they brought it in this morning and they're really keen to get it back, mainly because they use it for work and apparently they use it for animation. So that's really cool.
Nice screensaver.
So they bought a bit of gaming PC, but it's not what I call a high-end PC. So far what I know is it's some kind of Intel. It's also some kind of MSI case. It seems to be a budget case, and it looks like it might have come with an MSI power supply. I'm not sure, but it's got a Gigabyte Eagle 4060 8 gig graphics card in it, so not what I call super powerful, but the reason it's in is it wouldn't turn on. As you can see, I've already had a bit of a look at it while the customer was here and I identified the power supply has failed, so I plugged in a different power supply and it all turns on fine. So I've just hooked up this power supply onto my power supply tester, and then plug it in and try to turn it on and nothing happens. It's completely dead. So 100% power supply is gone. So it's just a matter of swapping that out. But while it's here, the customer asked me to give it a service and get all the dust out of it. It's not what I call really bad dust. There's some dust in the fans here, but I wouldn't call that really bad, and a bit of dust in the CPU area, but that's not bad. You know, you've seen really bad ones on my channel, so you know what bad is. That's not bad. And then yeah, we'll just give it a tune up, make sure it's all working good. Because this is more of a basic machine, I might actually go over some of the little tricks I do when it comes to doing a bit of a service and tune up, and that will give you something that you can use yourself on your own computer, just to make it run a little bit better. So yeah, we'll get into it, and that's what we were doing today. And I've got dust in my eye.
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be useful to you. It's going to be, because it's such a quick job, we're going to have a fairly quick run over things. I'm not going to be able to go into too much detail in terms of what I'm doing. All right, we better get into it, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. I've got another job I've got to go out to right now, and then while I'm out, I'm going to pop into my supplier, pick up some power supplies because I've run out, and then we'll pop that in when I get back, and we'll get this computer up and running. All right, everyone, I've got this case all cleaned up now. Took it out the garage, cleaned the dust off it, got the dust out of the CPU, and graphics card's all clean now. And I've been down to the supplier and I've got us a new power supply from Deepcool, and you'll notice that it's an 850 watt, and that's because the customer contacted me after they agreed to go ahead and they said, can you please make it a 80 plus gold power supply? And I said, why do you want to do that? Basically, they want to be able to upgrade later on, probably the graphics card. And I said, yep, not a problem. So that's why we're going for an 850. It's completely overkill for a 4060. But if they want to put in a bigger graphics card later on, then this will definitely be perfect for that. All right, so let's get this thing all back together and then we'll do some tune up. Okay, so now we can see that we're running a 12th gen i5 12400, 16 gig of RAM, and an 8 gig 4060, and a 1 terabyte Kingston NVMe SSD. So yeah, not what I call a super duper computer, but it'll probably does what they need to do. So the final thing I'll do is a BIOS update, because quite often the BIOS update will reset their pin and then I can't do anything in here, so just be wary of that. But usually the first thing I do is right click on the start, click on run, which brings up a box down on the bottom left corner, which you probably can't even see. And I usually just type in here temp, and what that does is it opens up the Windows temp folder, and you go continue, and then I just go Control A to select everything, and then Shift Delete to permanently delete without putting it in the recycle bin. Then it says there's ones that can't delete, you just tick do not do this for all current types, and then click skip. And that just flushes out the temp folder. Then the secondary temp area is right click your Windows, click run. This time we type %temp %. That takes us to the user profile temp folder, and then we go Control A again, Shift Delete, yes, to permanently get rid of all the temp files. And the ones that can't delete, you just click on do this for everything and then skip. And that'll just flush out all the temp files in a safe manner. Then what I do is I just click on search and I start typing disk, and we run disk cleanup, and I'll bring this over here, and then click on clean up system files, and then basically just highlight and tick each item, and this will just flush out all the temporary files throughout the computer as well, and it just gives the drive a nice tidy up. That's about as far as I'll go in terms of deleting files. I don't touch anything else unless the customer specifically asks me to do it. The only other thing I would do is go into the start menu, go to settings, go to apps, install the apps, and I just go through and check for any malware, adware type stuff, like OneDriver and things like this sort of stuff that I know are just junk that have just got on there by accident. But it's not looking like that's the case. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that I would class as adware. So there's another tool I really love. I use it on everything, and it's called Patch My PC. You just do a search for it, and usually it's the first one that comes up. And you just got to go up the top here to Solutions and Home User, and you want the Home Updater. And then I usually just get the portable because I don't need to install it, but you can install it if you want. Once you've downloaded it, just go to your downloads folder and you'll find it in there ready to rock. You just double click on it and go yes. Often it needs to update .NET, so just go download it now. It automatically downloads it. As soon as it's downloaded, run that. You can close off that and install it, and that's done. Disk cleanup's still going. Then you can try and rerun Patch My PC and accept. And I usually say don't schedule the updater, and no, don't ask again. What it does is it comes up with this window here, and it scans your computer and it finds all the software that's out of date and needs an update. And then you can literally just go over here and click start, and what it'll do, it'll update all the software that's out of date in one click, basically. Such a handy tool. And the other thing you can do is you can actually add programs. So if you go to the app library up the top and say you want to add, which is what I need to do, ADW cleaner. We can install that, boom, and we can search again over here and go for, why is it? Hang on, okay, C++, and we'll get the C++ pack because that's often very handy. And the other one I like to run just in case is Adlice Protect, so I'll install that. And then we'll go back to My Apps and it'll just show you all the ones, once they're updated, they'll go green, and once they're green, that means they're updated. So really, really easy to use, very handy. So in terms of drivers, we'll just check down the bottom. Yep, so we can see she's running 59186, which is from memory not a great driver. So we need to update that. Okay, so they don't have the NVIDIA app installed at all. So we need to go get that. NVIDIA app helps keep your drivers up to date. So this is the page of space that they turn up to. So we'll download the NVIDIA app, save that, and we'll run that, install it. And what I'm going to recommend is going to the NVIDIA Studio driver, because this person works as an animator. Studio driver is specifically for creators and is generally far more stable driver than the Game Ready driver, and we will download the latest Studio driver and put that on. I'm doing this all very quickly because the customer's so keen to get it back. And if we go look at Patch My PC, you can see it's all gone green. That means everything is up to date.
Did you get all that?
Every word.
And it would have created a folder called Portable Apps, and that's where the portable apps get put in. And we're going to run AWD Cleaner, another tool I use to check for adware. Adware is a less serious type of software that it's just more annoyance. Usually web browser, search engine takeovers, things like that. So it just looks for those, or just potentially unwanted programs that are just annoying but don't actually hurt you, and there's nothing. So we'll just skip and that. So this person obviously doesn't go to a lot of weird or dodgy places. So that's good.
Take this object, but beware, it carries a terrible curse.
Ooh, that's bad.
But it comes with a free Frogut.
That's good.
Alrighty, graphics driver's updated. The disk cleanup prompt has disappeared, which means it's finished doing that. So we'll do the Visual C++. This is just a portable pack that installs every version of C++ that's available and just does it all in one go. I find it just good to have all the C++ installed. Many games use it as programs as well. And it's great to have it all in one little package. And that's all done. The other thing I do, unless you actually really want them, I turn off the widgets because they actually consume memory, and the task view just to tidy up the taskbar. And I usually switch to search icon and label just to make your search box a little bit smaller so you can see more icons. And I also love to know what is running, so in the other system tray icons I just turn them all on so that I can see what is running in the background. Otherwise you may not even have a clue what's going on your computer, and you won't know if your antivirus is working and all this sort of stuff. It's just my personal preference, but I recommend it to everyone. And now we can see everything that's running. In terms of drivers, the only other thing I would do, because it's running in an Intel-based computer, I'm going to go into the search, I type Intel driver, and it should offer you the Intel driver and support assistant. I usually grab this, click allow up the top, go download, save it, run it, accept and install, and then I go agree to the terms and conditions, but I decline data collection because they don't need to know anything more than they already know. And it'll open a web page and scan your computer, and then it'll recommend drivers that are out of date, and we'll update those. install all. Yeah, yep. So it's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are out of date. And then it will say it's all up to date and you're good. But because it's updated the taskbar icon, we have to go back to the system tray and then turn that on to make it show. So now we've done all that, we'll go to settings and Windows Update, and it's already been downloading an update while I was doing everything. And I like to go check in advanced options, and often you'll find optional updates, drivers, and you'll find a bunch of stuff that hasn't been installed. So we'll do all that. As you can see, there's lots and lots of steps to doing a tune. So I'm going to let these all go in and then I'll duck back to you shortly. Okay, so all the updates have gone in, other than one for the firmware, which we'll wait because that's a BIOS update. Before we do a BIOS update, I always go to File Manager, go to this PC, and I always check if there's a padlock on the drive. If there is, it means it's encrypted. You actually need to disable that encryption before you do a BIOS update because it could lock you out of your drive. This has no encryption, so we did get a Windows update go in, so we're going to restart first to make sure that update goes on before we do the BIOS, because as I said, we may get locked out because of the pin gets disabled when you do the BIOS. It seems to be relating to the trusted platform chip, when certain BIOS updates trigger that and it no longer accepts the pin and you have to use a Microsoft password. So as you can see, I was right. It's because we did a Windows update. It's got to actually implement that update first before it's fully installed. So we'll let it do that. The other thing I noticed is the graphics card is sagging and there's no anti-sag on it. So I found the one that it came with my graphics card that I upgraded recently, so I'm going to put that in there for her. Alright, so now I'm going to go straight to Windows Update again. I'm going to go to Advanced and Optional, and I'm going to select the Asus Tech firmware update and download that. It says it's done, restart, and we'll see if it does a BIOS update. If it doesn't, it means it's just the BIOS has been updated and that driver hasn't been updated for some reason. But I do need to check the BIOS is up to date as well. So I'll be doing that even after I've done this bit, and there was no update. It was just software, okay. Alright, so we need to go into BIOS and check what version it's already got. So we have a Prime H610M-A Wi-Fi D4 motherboard. So this is not what I call a high-end motherboard. This is a very basic motherboard. I'm going to look up what. So the BIOS version currently is 2801 installed. Let's see what the latest is. So the current BIOS is 3810, so that one on there is extremely old. Let's get that up to date because it's got a lot of security fixes, which is very important these days. So I'll just put the file onto my USB stick. All right, then we'll pop the USB stick into a slot on the computer. And what we need to do is go to, all right, this is another interesting thing. You can see here the XMP, which is the setting to run your memory at its full speed, is disabled. So that's a very common mistake that I see all the time, is you have this nice fast RAM and you don't even use its full potential, and this looks like someone's built it for her and hasn't even bothered doing that. Okay, but what we actually need is we need to go into, we have to go to advanced mode and then go to tool easy flash. Then we find our USB stick, which should be this one here. Yep, and there's the file, the prime. It warns you about the BitLocker encryption. We already checked that. And yes, we want to read it. Do you want to update? Yes. And away we go. So we just let that go through. It's doing the ME firmware first, and then it'll do the BIOS. So yeah, this motherboard was quite out of date. So a lot of the security flaws were still there. So keeping your BIOS up to date is important for security, and they often release fixes to make memory more stable and processors, especially some of the 13, 14 gen Intels. It changes the microcode and makes them a lot more stable and less likely to get fried. But if your chip is already fried, updating BIOS won't fix it because the damage is already done. So that's the drawback. But if you do get it done when you first get it, keep it up to date, the Intel 13th, 14th gen is unlikely to get burnt out or degrade. So we'll let this go through, and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you turning on the XMP and things like that.
Alrighty then. Okay,
We're back in the BIOS after it's finished updating. We can now see up the top corner here, we're on version 3810, which is the latest. Now if we go over here to XMP, we'll click on that and we'll enable that. And you can see straight away it's going to make it run at the 3200 megahertz speed, and the timings and the volt for that particular speed. Currently it's only running at 2400, and that's the way it was when it came here, so she's missing out on this speed. Resize bar is disabled, we'll turn that on. That allows the graphics card to address all your memory in big chunk, which is far better for graphics. And then that's pretty much it. You can fine tune your fan if you want to make it quieter. I think I'm going to bother because I noticed this case that it's in, the fans are not controlled by the motherboard, so they run at a 100% speed all the time. So basically it's a very cheap case made by MSI, non-controllable fans, and I'm pretty sure the LEDs are controlled with a button on the case, so I can't even do anything with that. Yeah, not a great case. But anyway, it does the job, that's all we care. So we'll save this, go OK, and then it'll reboot now with the XMP turned on and the resize bar turned on. That'll be it, pretty much. And there we go. Oh, and it didn't reset the pin, that's great. But quite often it does, so. Okay, so we are pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else. I think that is it. There's probably some other things we can do, but I don't have time. This is just a very quick tune-up. It was mainly about repairing and giving it a quick service and dust. So yeah, that's it. That's a very quick tune-up that I would do for a customer in a hurry. Hopefully this helped you with maybe giving your computer a quick tune-up. It's definitely not an in-depth tune-up. There's a few more programs I would do if you really want to get into going more in-depth and making your computer smoother and less bloated. But I just simply don't have time for that today. I might do another video later on that stuff. But for today, that's it. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.